what's ridiculous and the ridiculousness of just things being effing ridiculous. Is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? British Vogue, written by Shantae Joseph. Really? Having a boyfriend is embarrassing now. This is how far we've come. Yeah? The state of the world. America's government shut down, welfare being cut. Jamaica has just gone through one of the greatest hurricanes that island has ever seen, Category 5. And here we have this. Still the attack on men. My God. I hope you're focused and on your square. If someone so much as says my boyf on social media, they're muted. There is nothing I hate more than following someone for fun, okay? Only for their content to become my boyfriendified suddenly. Wow, my God. She's gonna stop following a chick because now that she's got a man. Really? This is probably because for so long, it felt like we were living in what one of my favorite substackers calls boyfriend land. Wow. A world where women's online that is the I'm not a sad lonely boy. Oh, look, I've got no cream in a can.
A boyfriend. Girls, I think I've just peaked. Fear that this is everything I've ever wished for. This is like the category, the overs category, but now we're recognised and we're given credit and people want to be us. Like, I can't wait for the next time a boy gives one of my friends shit and I'm just going to say to her, like, babes, it's so 2016 to have a boyfriend. Like, it's really embarrassing that you're going to have to dump him.
Women saying, gotta go.
Big magazine like Vogue and see an article like that.
Again, the influence. Look at the influence. I mean, men don't write articles like this, or when men make points like this, they have to be hidden in some dark corner of the internet. It can't be put on public. I know it's too misogynist. Yeah, she's gonna drag me down. Oh, look at this chick. She's fine. Well, she's dragged by a woman. I'm not gonna. But women don't want to admit it, do they? Just men. It's sort of embarrassing to be human.
A man in your life, there's no in between, right? And the only time I have seen a relationship work, like, and I've seen beautiful, flourishing relationships, right?
Really?
The only time that they work is when the man like pours into the woman completely and courts her and, you know, takes weight off her shoulders and makes her life easier financially, mentally, spiritually. And
it's that reality about courting women.
Right, Shalom, I give it no praise unto Yabashima, Shabashim, Korakurash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And I honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above everybody are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Korakurash, giving all praises unto Yabashim Shai, Bashim Korakurash. Right, so this is going to be a relatively quick video based upon this infographic that we just watched. Obviously, this is some worldly BS. But I wanted to make a few points, and hopefully there'll be of edification. The first one really is one of the most important points that I'm going to make throughout the course of this video, and it's the response that I got from the elder when I had Elder Rukai Kwam when I shared this video with him, and I think it's an important message that I think should be encapsulated within this video. You know, when you start scrolling and you're all up into these worldly topics, you're gonna mess your algorithm up, and you know you're gonna get a lot of garbage like this, okay? Which what we've just seen is garbage. It is brainwashing. Brainwashing means to cleanse one's mind. This is what you call the psyop, okay? This is a psyop. This is what you know as the psychological programming, okay? This is the psychological programming that Esau pushes out there onto the masses, and obviously the masses becomes influenced by it, and they're able to further their agenda. Now, us being spiritual men, you know, we could have a plethora of different emotional responses off of the back of just what you've just seen in the articles that have been written and so on and so forth. But let's just call a spade what a spade is. It's a psyop, and the more you are into these topics, the more it skews your algorithm, and the more your algorithm is going to push particular things onto you. And then you have what's known as tunnel vision based upon your algorithmic YouTube experience. Okay, your YouTube is not my YouTube. Another person's YouTube is not their YouTube. You can see a completely different version of YouTube, mate. It's crazy when you go onto another person's phone, and you know you start to see their feed, and you're looking for particular things that you're into or whatever, and it's very difficult to find, because the way YouTube is right now and all of these socials, is very, very algorithmically informed and tuned to whoever is the main user. Okay. Now, obviously, if you see another brother's YouTube, you're gonna see a lot of topics that we have in common, right? And that's a beautiful thing, and that's a almost like a test to see how much you are in the spirit. In a way, you see another brother's feed, and you see what's is on his feed, and you see okay, you got the same thing. Yeah, I'm on point, or I'm not on point, or I gotta do better, or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. We're gonna speak about what we've just seen. So you can see that there's a psyops out there, a plethora of different psyops out there. Now remember what the elite banking families are trying to do, okay? What all their plans are, which hopefully I'll touch on some of those plans throughout the course of this video. We know they're trying to reduce the world's population down. 2019, there was a bit of a boom, okay, with the babies being born, and now, we're past that. We're back on a decline. A plethora of different articles have been released ever since. And you've seen a situation where pretty much the idea of a union, okay, between a man, and that's one of the most fundamental covenants, right? Covenant between Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai with the Israelites, the covenant between the Mosai and the earth, the rain or whatever, a covenant a man can make with his woman. And that's one of the fundamental covenants out there, okay? You're gonna go out there, you get a woman, and you produce. That's an instruction from Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai. Be fruitful and multiply. And we're living in a stage right now where the psyop is being pushed out there so heavy that the birth rates worldwide are at a critical point. As a matter of fact, there is countries like Japan that have been drinking the psyop. Countries like, I believe China might be one of them, but certainly Japan, that they have what's known as an aging population, which is a very, very terrible situation to be in. In other words, their population is in a steep decline, meaning to say at some point the productivity is going to just reduce and plateau. That's not a good thing to have within the economy. But they've drunk the juice. And you're seeing these young people now, they're drinking the juice. Okay, they drunk it all up. But that's all good. As again, like I said, we see these things, we see them in passing. Our focus is to push the word of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shai. Okay, we see these things in passing. We shrug our shoulders and say, yeah, that's all a part of Esau's agenda. Again, remember, they want to reduce the population of the world down. And they want to have a situation like you see within the Children of Men. You see, when you was watching the TV, the movie rather more, the Children of Men, that was a dystopian future that Esau's getting ready to impart right now upon the face of the earth. Okay, that's what Esau is establishing right now. And you can have all of these semi-attractive women lie, front, maybe even tell the truth because they've drunk the juice about this ridiculousness, for want of a better way of putting it. You can have them come up on a YouTube and say on socials and say all of this madness. But let's move on to the second topic, and here's my response to that. So good and well right now when you've got the so-called societal support. That's all good and well. But we understand from the scriptures, society is getting ready to fall apart. And it makes sense how the Mosai phrased it within the scriptures. It's almost like it's as poetic justice in a way. When you think about how it's phrased within the scriptures, then shall 7 women take hold of one man, saying we shall eat our own bread. It's like a complete 180. Here it is, you've been influenced to go one way by way of the red Hebrew Edomite Esau, because you live in a cookie cutter society that encourages you to be disruptive and destructive to yourself. Okay, a lot of these people, they'll tell you, being in a union, being in a marriage, all of this boyfriend and dating bullshit. That's a madness. That's not how the Mosai intended for you to have 15 boyfriends and having had I've slept with this much women and all this. That's not really what the Mosai intended a union and partnership to be. A union and a partnership really is a fundamental business, man. You marry into the right family, you could change your whole legacy, and vice versa. That whole the union, the marriage, man, that could change your whole legacy. Look at our forefathers. Look at our forefathers and what happened with their situations, right? Jacob, Rebecca, Leah, right? Situations that totally changed the whole dynamic, so to speak, for for one of a better statements. I'm sure there's better examples to mention. I think even the situation with Ruth and Boaz, right? And how the line was redeemed. You could do a lot with marriage. You could do a lot with a good union. But you got these people out here just following and drinking up the juice and using that situation just to be a beast, really. And that's what you see a beast do. A beast just goes around the earth without order. Anyways, I say all of that to say this, right? So good, you've drunken the juice, right? You're living in a society that pretty much is so-called safe and so-called functional by this world standard. What do we know from the scriptures? We understand from the scriptures that the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. Okay, the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. So what's going to happen in the time of Jacob's trouble? These women are going to go completely 180. Now they're going to be looking for a covering from the tempest. So good and well when you can go on YouTube and cry on YouTube and make all of these ridiculous statements on YouTube and Instagram or all of that. Esau's finna to shut this whole internet down. Esau's finna to shut down all of these stores that you can run to, order your Costa coffee and self-medicate with Prosecco and all of that. Esau's finna to shut all of that down. That's what a lot of these people they don't realize that you really think that society, just because society's been able to go like this for about 80 years or whatever since World War II, you really think that it's just gonna continue like this? Like, you really don't see that the very fabric of society is being broken down right before our eyes. Crazy, right? Crazy. The economy is on its ass. Taxes are getting ready to go up out here within the UK. The people are rebelling. They're being influenced to rebel, but the people are rebelling against their kings. It's like, bro, you really think that this society, as you know it, is going to continue? It ain't going to happen. And when society collapses, it's going to be interesting to see what these bros are going to say, man. It's going to be very interesting. But yeah, man, there's a lot of ridiculousness out there. Stay out of the ridiculousness. Keep focused. Like the guy says, Replicant Fish, he is a good channel to watch, to be fair, because he's got a pretty much an on-point perspective. But like he said, man, stay on your square. I mean, let's say stay on point. And how do we stay on point? By worshiping Yahweh Shema Shai in all sincerity, man. Pushing this word. In any event, without my say, praise unto Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kwa HaKodash. The bonus unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And I honor you brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.